Hi everyone, this is Tamu. Welcome to my channel, The Cloud Security Guy. In case you are new here, we talk on a weekly basis about things like cloud security, artificial intelligence, and general cybersecurity career advice. Today I want to talk on a topic which a lot of newcomers and even experienced people ask me about, which is coding. Coding, whether you're in cybersecurity or in cloud security, do I have need to know coding? A lot of people, they have that love-hate relationship with coding. Some cybersecurity people think it's like a necessary thing. I mean, you're not a true cybersecurity guy if you don't know a little bit of coding. Some people think it's overrated. You can perfectly have a good career without it. So this is just my own subjective opinion based on my experience. Before we move ahead, guys, please do like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like this video, subscribe, and share it if you find it useful. It will really help the channel to grow. Thank you. Okay, so first of all is coding in cybersecurity. So if you wanted to know my personal opinion on this, like, do you need to know cybersecurity? Do you need to know coding in cybersecurity? My honest answer is no. I mean, for the vast majority of positions, you do not need to know coding. You can perfectly get by without it. I mean, if you're involved in, say, risk management, security assurance, IT auditing, governance, risk management, data governance, IT, identity and access management. Honestly, if you're in cybersecurity, this really becomes necessary when you're in certain specialized positions, like, say, penetration testing or vulnerability assessment, or wherever you need to do automation and integration of those things. You need to be able to write scripts and automate stuff. Then knowing coding is a big advantage, I agree. But for the vast majority of positions, coding is not a deal breaker. It will not like cause you problems, honestly speaking. Okay, and what about coding in cloud security? So when it comes to cloud security, I have held this position that a little bit of programming or coding will go a long way because of the nature of the cloud. So let me give you my reasons before people get mad at me. So yeah, that is my reason. I think you should know a little bit of coding if you're going to if you're going to make your career in cloud security, even in cloud computing. Okay, a little bit of coding, a little bit of programming, and I'll tell you why is necessary. Why? So what are my reasons for this? First of all, if you talk about the cloud is captured in infrastructure as code. That's the name itself, right? And what do I mean by that? Cloud infrastructures as a best practice, they get captured in things like Terraform or cloud formation, and that is also where the security weaknesses will be. You need to be able to read this code, right, to be able to understand what the weaknesses are. And if you don't know it, then you'll have a big problem. Okay, that is where the problem comes in. A lot of people do come up to me and say we can just buy third-party solutions or open source solutions. They will scan these templates for weaknesses. We don't need to know how Terraform works and all that. That is true, but what the problem is, you will run the thing, and you will get a nice report. You will send it to the IT team, and what if they challenge it? What if they say, oh, no, 9500 is correct and your tool is wrong? If you don't know, how will you be able to tell them, you're wrong or you're right based on, because if you're not able to read the code? A little bit of knowledge about Terraform and CloudFormation goes a very long way. That's why IT will also respect you, and they will say, okay, this person knows what he's talking about. He's not just blindly following like a report, right? So it's nothing fancy. Just know how to spin up a basic, network or a server in the cloud using Terraform or CloudFormation. Basically, literally, you can write like 10 or 12 lines of code. That will be enough. It'll really help you out. A lot of vulnerabilities get missed out by automated tools, and you will be able to find them if you know a little bit of Terraform, okay? Because you will be able to understand infrastructure as code. And then later on, when it comes to, there's a topic called security as code, where you put the security tooling into the code itself. That is, you will be able to do it. So these are the things, I mean, that will really help you out. And that's why you need to know a little bit of coding, because cloud is captured in infrastructure as code. What is the second thing? The second thing is API calls. So like I said before, the cloud is like a series of API calls, right? That are either manually or automated, and it happens. It does not matter whether you are using a management console or running a script. There's always an API call behind this service, okay? So, and if you want to be able to uh, properly work in the cloud, you should be able to make these cloud services talk to each other. And this is essential for like scenarios where you need to know a little bit of coding, like public APIs are there. I made a whole course on this about API security. I'll link it there. But that's why you need to know a little bit of API, a little bit of coding, because you won't be able to understand how these API calls are calling each other. What else? Okay, serverless. Serverless is the future, guys, and I'll tell you why. So, what is serverless? Just to be a little bit of give you a little bit of context, serverless is like the cloud on steroids. Cloud reaching the full potential, because in the cloud you don't have to worry about a data center, right? You don't have to worry about a platform or a data center. Whereas in serverless, you completely forget about the server, forget about the platform, just write code. And a lot of organizations are moving towards this. So you understand? So serverless is an execution model where the whole environment is taken away from you. Only code is there. Code is running in response to events, and code is what you have to secure. Things like AWS Lambda, Microsoft Azure Functions, all of these are moving. So, and just to show you, this is a recent report by Datadog. So over half of organizations in each cloud, they have adopted serverless. Because think about it, why would you want to worry about patching or maintaining platforms or upgrading operating systems? You can just take these away. AWS or Google or Azure, they will worry about it. So serverless is definitely very much so. It is there. It is a trend which is going to come. So cloud security professionals, you need to get to grip with how serverless works, how serverless functions are secured. You don't have a server to protect. You don't have a network boundary to protect. The full security weight falls on the application code. If you can't even write a simple hello world program in serverless, then you need to find out how to do this ASAP. Then you will, later on, when fully serverless comes in, you will not be able to secure it. So that's the reason, guys. Okay, what else? The last reason is cloud and DevOps are linked. If you're in the cloud, you're going to be working on DevOps. I'm going to make a complete class on DevOps. But basically, what is DevOps? Software used to be deployed like using very, it's normal software, the waterfall methodology. One by one, the steps used to be happen manually. In DevOps, basically, you use tooling, you use automation, a lot of things. It becomes very high. It becomes like a pipeline. So software application code is being deployed and tested and made. All of it is automated. And that's where a lot of tools like Jenkins and Docker for containers, Kubernetes are going to come in. It really comes into play in the cloud. Okay. So DevOps is not a tool. It's like a culture of these tools and philosophies. So, and the point is to deliver software at high speeds, because companies, they want to deliver software very, very fast. If you don't know how to code, if you don't know what a simple hello world container is, what Kubernetes is, what Jenkins is, believe me, coding will help you out a lot. So that's why you don't need to be an expert in it. That's why a lot of people get confused. But you should know the basics of these softwares, what the vulnerabilities work, how a container image is downloaded, how a Jenkins pipeline is made. You should play around with it yourself. Try to understand it. Okay, it's very fun to do. It will really take you to the next level. So what to learn and how to learn. So I've told you why you should know a little bit of coding. Well, the options are pretty simple, honestly speaking. If you want to start coding in cloud security, there are a lot of programming languages. So it might seem intimidating. I would suggest start with Python. Python is a very, very easy language to learn. Easily the most popular language. You can't go wrong with Python, honestly, in any environment. It's also the engine. A lot of cybersecurity tools, they use Python in the backend, okay? And in serverless also. So there are many, many tutorials present on YouTube. You can just Google it, free Python tutorial. You'll probably find 100 ones. All of them are excellent, I would say. I mean, Python is awesome to learn. You should learn it. Next term, I would suggest Terraform or even CloudFormation for infrastructure as code. I already told you why this is important. And you don't need to do a deep dive. Just try to spin up a network or a database in the cloud and learn along as you go. Okay, learn a little bit of SQL, because SQL, people used to think SQL is only something which database administrators you need to know. But you need to know it to query a lot of data stores, audit trails. A little bit of SQL will go a long way. And lastly, Json files. JSON, you should understand how JSON works, how JSON technically is not a programming language, but a lot of, IAM policies or access policies, they are defined in JSON format. So you should be able to read and understand them. So I hope you understood, guys, what I was trying to convey here. A little bit of coding will help you out a lot and why it's important. There is no disadvantage to knowing how to code, okay, in security. It will only make you better at your job. It will give you a competitive advantage over others. And it will really help you to apply more advanced security techniques. There's so much material there on the internet. There is honestly, no need. You should not know it. So like I said, don't worry about it. Don't get scared. Try to learn as much as you can. Reach out to me if you need any help. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you, guys. Please do like and subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, leave a comment if you felt I missed something. And thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.